What's the word, ladies and gentlemen? This is Andrew, and I guess while we're all waiting for the next update, you know, we're all hyped up about Stoker. And by the way, guys, if you haven't seen the merc roll call for Stoker, I'll go ahead and link it here. Bing! But yeah, so check that out after this video. But I guess while we're all waiting, I guess I could tell you a story of my past. Yes, another, you know, story time session. So gather around, you guys, gather around. This is gonna be a rough one. Well, really not that rough. I wasn't really the center of this story, but it was quite cringe-worthy. So I guess as far as background story goes, or background information, yeah, I went to a Catholic elementary and middle school. I was raised Catholic and all that stuff. But after that, I went to a public high school. Now, they had like this little youth group thing where every Saturday or Sunday, I forgot what it was, you would kind of go back to the old school and meet some of your old middle school people and kind of continue your Catholic journey or something like that. Now, I was back there maybe freshman and sophomore year of high school, and you know, it's kind of neat seeing all your old friends, but you also met some new people as well. You know, kids from other, I guess, other Catholic schools or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, so one of the years, I met this person. I don't remember the person's name. However, I will say they had like a gender neutral name. So we're just gonna call him Chris, or her Chris. I wasn't really sure. yeah, you guys are seeing where this is going. Okay, so this person named Chris, who I wasn't sure about, you know, if it was a boy or girl. I wasn't sure, but you know, we were 14 or 15 or whatever. We didn't care. The problem is, like, this person, Chris, Chris wore his or her hair really short, right? I mean, at one point you're like, oh, it could be a girl because, like, you know, she has that, you know, voice, kind of sounds like a girl, but then again, it also could be a guy because, you know, we're all 14. We're kind of squeaky, not that squeaky, but kind of squeaky, right? I mean, some of us are more squeaky than others. But then, you know, this person, Chris, you know, the hair's all short, you know, and she wears boy clothes. So I'm like, ugh, confusing. So I never really like asked Chris, obviously, if he or she was a boy or girl. Really wasn't none of my business. I mean, I honestly don't even care, but I guess just for like simplicity's sake, I mean, you can see how much I'm struggling here. So yeah, I was definitely not the only one who was confused as far as which gender. I didn't even know the correct terminology. What gender Chris was. A lot of my classmates were definitely also kind of ambiguous. It was all very ambiguous, but we never really talked about it. We just, you know, just treat Chris like one of us. I mean, who cares? Who gives a shit? But yeah, anyways, we were all sitting in class one day. By the way, they did have a class, sort of like Sunday school. These classes were usually run by volunteer parents or whatever, who kind of go through the things in the Bible and all that stuff. But yeah, we were just sitting in class, you know, doing whatever youth group stuff we were doing, and I think I forgot her name of whoever was leading the class, but we'll call her Miss Volunteer. So Miss Volunteer was trying to set us up into like groups and things like that. You know, set us up into like pair off for some group project or activity. Anyway, so she was counting off. Okay, you know, we have 15 boys and we have 14 girls. You know, how do we divide this? And she was counting off the names. Like, all right, we have, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, all the way to 16 boys, and she was counting up to like. She was like thinking of how many girls we have. She's like, all right, we have 1, 2, 3. Went to like 14 girls, and then Chris, who was sitting right in front of this lady, was like, no, we have one more girl, and the lady was like, Miss Volunteer was like, what, really, we do? And she like looked around, started counting again, but before she could finish counting, Chris was like, no, I'm the last girl. And we're like, oh god. That's the sound of like me throwing up from like embarrassment for Miss Volunteer. Like, oh god, that was so awkward. Oh, so awkward. Maybe I'm overreacting, but like in the moment, man, the whole class was just silent, like dead silent, because like finally we had figured out Chris was a girl. Yeah. Miss Volunteer, she definitely played it off really well. I mean, she pretended like, oh, I just didn't see you kind of thing. But no, I mean, come on. It was extremely obvious that she thought Chris was a boy. Very obvious. I mean, I kind of feel bad for Chris because, like, I mean, come on. I mean, no one wants to be confused for the wrong, you know, sex or gender. I mean, I don't know. It must have been really bad for Chris. I feel really sorry for this person. I don't know. I don't even fucking know. I mean, she didn't even have boobs. For fuck's sake, she didn't have boobs. You couldn't tell, okay? Guys, it was difficult. It was a difficult call. I mean, come on. There's a 50-50 chance, you know? It's not too bad. Those odds just didn't really work out this time, Miss Volunteer. Good guess, though. Try again next time. Just don't play the lottery. But yeah, I mean, that experience, man, I don't know. It must have been way more horrific for the two of them. But it's just like, you know, when you're in a really bad, awkward situation, and if you're just bystanding, you just kind of want to crawl under the floorboards. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I felt. So yeah, guys, that's kind of my story. Kind of a short little mini story here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Have you ever sort of been in this situation? Have you ever known someone in this situation? What about embarrassing moments? Have you guys ever had an embarrassing moment? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time.